like it.
All right, now we can, officially, sorry, everybody. We just need to approve the minutes from July. Any concerns with those? No, hearing none, I need a motion. Motion made by Dave, second by Kevin. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Awesome.
Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm Jill.
Say yes.
Aye, yes,
Perfect.
agreed.
We do not have a guest today. Skip item 3, the golf event. Chris, you will give us a rundown.
We were actually just talking about it, but it went off. There were a couple little glitches that, you know, we'll address in our next meeting. We're gonna have a end of or reevaluation of our golf meeting on October 23rd. And so we'll go over the highs and lows and what we can do to improve. There's a couple of because we have gotten to the point where we just are like a well-oiled machine, it just works. There's some assumptions that were made that the ball got dropped. We're gonna address those. We had, we ended up having 32 teams. I think we had 32 teams, 31 teams. And which is more than what Tracy's comfortable with, and so he always kind of balks about it, but we had several. And it was mainly from the state legislature that had shown up and was expecting to play, but they didn't RSVP, so we didn't know that they were coming. So we quickly put together a team for them with just a couple of stragglers and made them happy, and we were off and going. So I think for the most part, it went really well. There's a couple of things we need to fix, but other than that, it was good. So.
I thought it was super successful. We had some wonderful visitors there. The governor was there for all day. Kevin had a great team there. Everybody participated. It was really good.
So did the governor go the whole?
We had the fully, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
How was it on the golf course with him? Was he like very?
He was really good. No, it was very gracious.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it was wonderful. By the time he got to 11, he started on 1, he was still having a good time,
Took a
smiling.
lot of pictures with everybody.
Yeah,
Good.
He was gracious. I didn't expect him to stay the whole time, but it was good.
Yeah, he needed it, I think. Yeah, he said, just like he said in his opening comments, he needed something like that.
Something
He
normal.
needed a break. It's been a tough
And I
month or
think he
so.
enjoyed, yeah, that's why he was there.
So during the tournament, does Payson City, was Jill taking pictures of each one of the teams?
Mhm.
And then Todd, I'm assuming, went through, I forgot to ask him how his pictures were, because he was supposed to go through and just take pictures.
Yeah, he came to our hall for a little bit and then just,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
I
was
think
all-
Todd was
Kept
all
wandering.
over, but yeah, I haven't seen the pictures, but I think he was.
So that will be fun.
I
I'll
made it
get
around the
link
whole
those
evening.
pictures and maybe next EDC, I can share some of those.
That'd be cool.
That would be fun.
So. Anyway,
Yeah, I thought it was really well. I don't know who won tournament. Maybe I don't.
I don't know, I haven't checked the last time. Tracy said he was gonna post it on the golf course.
I think everybody won. Chamber of Commerce stayed, couldn't argue with the weather again.
it was a beautiful day.
That's awesome. Well, thank you to everybody who participated, especially those who organized it. That was great.
So this was the 9th year, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think for the 10th year, so I think for next year, and Todd and I talked about this just briefly on the course. I do just take snapshots on my phone. A lot of times they're not great pictures, but I do want to send like a little memory, you know, for their group, and then I try to email them to the different groups. I would like to actually do like a frame, you know, that has the Payson logo, and you can say 10th, you know, the 10th annual, or something that has the logo, Home to Adventure. I thought if we could design that beforehand, then I can just grab those pictures, put them in, and just bundle it up a little better and send it to each of the participants. So anyway, maybe we can work towards that for next year.
That'd be all right.
I think we definitely need to figure out how to make that, because we've got so many people who want to participate in the tournament. So many people who want to sponsor so they can be part of the tournament, but it's like now pretty much all of our tournament is just sponsors, and so we're gonna have to figure out where that fine line is. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a lot of new faces this year though,
Mhm.
and so that was good.
I still think it's an opportunity to try to fill all 18 holes with sponsors and exhibits or whatever to get the message out that we want to get. Not to fill them just to fill them, but really to have an idea of what messages we want to get out each year and just keep taking advantage.
So like whole sponsors, not.
Yeah, I still, in my mind, and when I talk about this, like our leadership, getting we got our regional CFO out, which was good, but the way I sell it to them is, we don't, instead of holding an economic development summit in a conference center, we do it at the golf course, and instead of, and even for the people that do a booth, I was talking to to Mark Kershaw and that group on that hole. If you hold it in a conference center, excuse me, and you have a vendor area, not everybody goes to every booth. You just, you go and you wander around, you go where you want to go, but we have a captured audience for 18 holes. They're gonna come by every single exhibit that we put out there. And so it's an opportunity to put the messaging out that we want, to have the right people there delivering those messages, and they get them for 3 or 4 minutes. It's not long, but it's long enough to make an impact and get that message across. Yeah, so I think we just need to continue each year to try to fill all 18, and have somebody at every hole delivering whatever the messages are that we want. And I think we're growing every year. I think we probably had more this year.
Yeah.
Because I know we had the education committee there with, all their participants, and then we still had an MTech and a UEU hole separate from that. So we're growing, but I just think that we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that that's what it's about, really. It's an opportunity to get messaging out that we want, and we should maximize that opportunity.
We actually talked about that, and Tracy says you don't want someone on every hole because it bogs down the tournament, so
Well, it
I,
depends on what they do,
that's true.
and that's what you have to control. If people are gonna play some kind of game every hole, yeah, box them down. But if you just have, if they're going by the hole and they have a giveaway, something to pick up and the backpacks were nice because some were put stuff.
Throw stuff in.
Yeah, as you're getting it. But I think that's what you have to be careful of, is to control what they do there, because if they do a game, it does bog them down. But if they have just a couple of posters up and they can, while people are waiting to tee off, they can just deliver a 2-minute message of whatever their message is.
Did you like the signs of, adventure to?
Yeah.
that was
I think
fantastic.
that's exactly what we should be doing. Driving home that theme, that theme of home to adventure, and then putting across the messages that we want, what's going on. It'd be nice, we have several subcommittees of this group, but it'd be nice to have every one of them there on the whole.
That's what I was thinking, is that we ought to have the subcommittees.
Yeah, and we have,
Represented on.
and we have a few of them that are doing that right now, but we don't have all of them. Yeah. So anyway, just a thought to just continue to think about that opportunity, because it is that everybody's got to go by every hole, and they're going to look at whatever you have there. And so it's
It doesn't have to be elaborate.
no, it doesn't at all.
Like WICP, they had big pictures of their buildings.
Yep.
That you didn't have to spend a lot of time
No.
on, just to see what it was.
And they took about a minute and said, here's what we're doing, here's where our building is. And yeah, I think it's an opportunity again and it should be well thought out again. It should be messaging. And, in our education committee, we talked about that. What is the message we want to get out? And they had the brochure and they had, the few things that they wanted to talk about, and that's what they did. And so I just, again, just a reminder that it is an opportunity, and I don't, we don't have to have somebody on every hole just to have somebody on every hole. It should be thought out.
Yeah, awesome. Great. Anything else? Look off again. Moving on to number 5, the Innovation Center. Hopefully all of you've had a chance to maybe go tour MTech. Campus is beautiful. The Innovation Center received a large shipment of equipment. And I was down there yesterday trying to help put some things together, and Jace Wolstenhume works for MTech, but he will be kind of the operations person at the Innovation Center. He was down there yesterday trying to put 3D printers together and all sorts of stuff. So we got a massive delivery of stuff that needs to be set up.
What's his name again?
Jace Wolstenhume. He's really great. He works in MTech's PR department, but we're grateful for the partnership that that MTech sees in this innovation center. They contributed his time and help run it, which I think is a really good thing. I think that an innovation center should be connected to some sort of higher education facility. Every other one in Utah is connected that way. Some the city doesn't even participate at all. I think our partnership here is really, really good. It's going to just take some time to get everything organized, put together. We have a massive laser engraver down there. It's really cool. But as I was looking at it, ventilation is a big issue that I'm not sure has been thought out well.
They did bring a
So I don't know what is up in the ceiling. We're gonna have to figure that out.
We had a tenant in our building with a laser engraver, and they were cutting thin wood, and they started a fire.
Yeah.
So
We don't want that to happen.
no, so that's, you
We
need to
really,
be careful
really
about.
don't want to have that happen.
Right.
So before that gets used, everything is gonna be checked out, safe, all that kind of stuff.
Do you know if we're letting the users of the facility do use the equipment, or is the management of the facility the only operators of the equipment?
Management of the.
Like
So
Jace and whoever's managing.
So everybody that participates in the Innovation Center will be able to use it, but they'll have to be trained on it prior to using it. Things like that. So if somebody wants to come in and start a screen printing business or an engraving business or whatever, we have some tools that they can utilize. That's kind of the catalyst of having an innovation center. Some of these things are out of reach, but people have good ideas and stuff. But training on it is really, really important. So we've been, Jace and Brian and I have been visiting a few innovation centers throughout the state that have been operating for a long time. And one thing I keep saying is, okay, we're just an infant here. We have a ways to go and lots of things to learn, so pace yourself. But the other thing is just helping people understand how to use the equipment that's targeted. So we don't want it to just sit there idle, but also don't want it to burn up, literally.
Yeah.
So we're looking maybe as an opening of that towards the end of October. We had talked about a soft opening maybe next week. That is not happening. Not at all. That is not happening. So
We've got two things happening. One on the 23rd is the Rest to Great workshop where we have about 100 people upstairs. We want to at least introduce it to these people. So if you or Brian or Jace can participate on the 23rd. And then the 28th, the following Tuesday, our adventure and education luncheon, chamber luncheon. So we'll probably have 40 or 50 people up there. And again, we can do another tour or at least an introduction to
are
them.
you planning on having it in the innovation
No,
center?
it'll be in
Okay, there's not enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
So they'll be there. I mean, you've got basically 130 people or so that we can introduce to it.
Right. That's great. Yeah, we'll have things well on our way by then.
Great.
So. I love that. What time is the luncheon? And the garage.
The 23rd is a 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock event, and the 28th it's a 12 to 1.
But yeah, we're excited about it. I think it'll be a really great thing. Any questions on Innovation Center?
Is this list still accurate that we got at the open house?
Yeah. You come out in pieces.
Yeah.
Boxes and stuff everywhere.
Boxes, tools everywhere. Chase yesterday was trying to put this 3D printer together, and he had the YouTube channel open and a motherboard and trying to figure out which one goes in. I was like, you go. You handle that.
Be responsible.
Inland Port. Dave, any additional information on that one?
No, I think the first meeting, I think they have to have 2 meetings to officially get the city in the inland port. And I think the first one's coming up, I think the 1st of November, I believe. And then one in December. They want to have it due by December, but yeah, it's moving forward. We're looking at other properties as well. We could be added there to help the city out. And it's pretty easy. You can add properties or take properties out if you want, very easy.
We're very pleased with the way that the inland port policy has changed significantly. So that's why I explored this. When it was first created, it was not a good program for cities, but now it really actually has some significant benefits.
There's a lot of pushback to get with it.
So yeah, that's probably why they changed.
Yeah.
Probably with a lawsuit too.
Yeah.
Lawsuit, takeover, all sorts of things. So
But I think it did refine it. I think it's good.
Committee reports and assignments. Most of us here are on the Business Retention Committee. Generally, we meet before this meeting, but this month was a little weird, so we'll be meeting next month. But Marty and I are working on scheduling time to actually just go visit different businesses and actually being see how they're doing, make sure things are going well. She has some survey information that she sends out when businesses open and they close. So that's some good data that we're looking at as well. Strategic plan.
We haven't met for a while, but if I had the data, I could update what we've gone through, but Brian hasn't shared that with me, so. If I had the files, I could fix that, so. I'll find that out, get that fixed, so we can share it with everybody.
I can give an update on the adventure education subcommittee, and Jim can add into it. I know he's active in that too, but they've done a good job of pulling together partners with UVU, MTech, and Nevo School District and their Advanced Learning Center. But they've now got a tool that really businesses can go in and request assistance for an intern or even a class project to work on a project for them at the Advanced Learning Center or elsewhere. And so there's a way to sort of connect interns and classes that are looking to get some experience in business working on a project, get those matched up. And that's what this luncheon is about, is to promote that more fully to the chamber and really be able to get in front of the business and say, here's where we are with this, here's how you access the tool, and here's how you can get matched up with resources that you need. So they've made really good progress. Great participation, out of the committee members, and so we'll see where they take it next. But their goals have been, one, to be on the hole and have a hole to golf tournament and be able to start to promote that message. And then they set a goal to get a chamber event, which they got on the 28th. And then they have a goal, if I remember right, to do something maybe in the primary education, K through 12, to do something to figure out how to connect businesses with education. they're not sure what that's gonna be, but it's something that they're working on next, so yeah, they meet regularly and, again, have really good situations, good membership, and they'll continue to kind of push down that road, so. And I think that they're really bought into the concept that we want to figure out how to instill education or adventure in education, how to make it different than most education by getting experiences on, real life experiences with business partners to enhance the education experience. And then to use that as a tool to help businesses that need some free work. So I think that's coming together really well.
Yeah, all three schools are on board 100%.
Yeah,
UPU, MTech, and Evo.
as evidenced by the golf ball, even though the other two had their own holes,
They'll have reps.
they still had reps there the whole time. So it's really good. They're a really good partnership.
Yeah, trying to figure out how to get the kids to go tour local businesses and just learn what opportunities are available here in Payson for them to stick around and get a career here.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's excellent.
Mark Kershaw's doing a wonderful
Yeah.
job. Where he's sharing.
Any other?
I can update a little on downtown. We're putting together a Christmas decorating contest. And Jim, I met with Diane yesterday. She's gonna meet with you because, they feel like the chamber can help.
Yeah, that'd be great. if you could do it.
Sponsor an award. Yeah. We're just doing our first prize and we try to come up with something big. So, my nonprofit's pitching in and hopefully the chamber, but, we're gonna get that out and I'm gonna call Mayor Wright and ask him to judge. I know he's judged every year and enjoys that. But, our goal is to have the judging done on the 26th. That way, before the library has November, just before Thanksgiving.
So we're announcing the library wreath winner at the tree lighting. You
Yes.
want to do the same for that?
Yes, I actually, am having Diane announce that winner for the decoration contest at remind me.
The Christmas tree lighting.
Is it called the
Well, it's the Payson Christmas Festival as well.
Payson Christmas Festival? Yeah. And so, and she thinks the mayor's gonna be there and, we'll have the mayor do it as well. And anyway, we kind of pulled an audible on First Fridays. We're keeping First Fridays during summer months and then doing special events on other days. Just kind of feel like, when people go back to school and stuff, the last thing they want to do on Friday night is do another event in competition with the other events that are going on. So, yeah, we're here to support. Obviously, we did talk about doing a Valentine's Day thing. We talked about maybe doing a Halloween or fall festival thing downtown. And but there's a lot going for Christmas already. And anyway, we're gonna try to support and join forces with other things going on, so we don't conflict and pull people away. That's kind of it for downtown. Now.
Thanks, Ty. Appreciate it.
Oh, one other thing, I know there's been talks about limits of like 2-hour parking downtown and in the parking lot and at least Councilman Rowley reached out, asked my opinion. I don't see a problem or why that's needed. A lot of parking was cut down already. And I don't know. So if there's a problem or something, happy to help, find a solution or whatever.
The council discussed that
Last council meeting.
Mhm.
Does, you think the downtown people are in favor of that or maybe not in favor of it?
Here's what I told, I mean, of course, I haven't taken a poll, right, but I think that a lot of parking was taken out already, and then, to have it switched to a 2 hour limit, I think you'd have some upset people. I proposed to Ryan Rowley, I said maybe I could see some spaces on 2 hour limit, but not all of them. And so I don't know, is there a problem downtown with parking?
There have been some complaints, and I think what came up council meeting is that at least what was viewed as, and this was on the Utah Avenue part, that you get an employee that works there and they park there and they're parked there their whole shift.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if it's getting the
Employers, just the street parking,
the street parking,
not the parking
not
lot.
in the parking lot. But
Okay.
maybe if the employees or the employers or the owners could encourage their employees to park in the parking lot.
Yeah,
So
versus the street.
then it may not be as bad of a problem. That was brought up.
I think the concept, right, is that since the parking is limited, they've taken parking away. Then if you set a limit on some, you don't get long-term parkers that really may not even be associated with downtown.
Right.
You know, that you actually get a
Right.
turn in the parking and so the question would be, is 2 hours enough to visit, all the downtown businesses and then, get in, get out or whatever. I think that's kind of what they're thinking, right?
Yeah, and they just want, you want enough time to go out if you're gonna go to eat or if you're gonna go visit a place, but not somebody there that just parks there and leaves it all day long. So there have been complaints, but it might be good to have a downtown meeting.
Yes.
But yeah, why I go around to announce the declaration contest? I am happy to, talk to people, maybe we should,
Why and what the answers, and then get their feedback.
yeah, get their feedback, maybe throw a meeting in.
We adopted a resolution a couple of years ago, but we haven't implemented it because everything was under construction, but we don't allow overnight parking in the parking lot. And that has been a problem in the past. Some of the businesses just leave their stuff there, but now, in fact, we've got a little permit, and the people that have apartments above, they can get a permit to park in the back, but if you don't have a permit, then you really can't park overnight.
Right.
And that was something else that was discussed for the on-street parking, and usually we don't regulate that in all public streets, but that was also brought up, that some of those apartments will park in the front, and they'll be there all night and then just sit there for the day. So I think it's either education or,
Yeah, I think, let's gather some data first.
yeah, we told the council we put a proposal, for a proposed ordinance in there, but
Okay.
I don't know if there's a big hurry. It's probably something we ought to really vet out with the property owners and business owners down there. But we don't want to make more people upset, but
So should I organize, oh, sorry.
As you'd say, I think it benefits business, right? If you get customers in there,
yeah,
it's to their benefit. if they
Absolutely.
Have access. For us to go over and go to lunch, it's pain because there's no parking on the street, so. If we go somewhere else, right, to get access, you go out more often, so. I just think employees in parking lots, great.
yeah, if the workers would park back in the
Right.
outer parts of the parking lot, I don't know if it'd be that much of a problem, but
So, okay, so this wasn't for the parking lot.
wasn't for the parking.
Street,
This is just on street.
Yeah.
2 hour
I've
parking.
heard different things.
No, not in the parking lot.
Maybe I should, cause when I go around, I'll collect some data and also encourage, employees park in the parking lot. And then maybe would it be beneficial to organize a meeting, like a,
I think
discuss,
And
or,
how are you gonna enforce that? You gonna
That's one of the challenges.
Yeah,
But even putting the signage up helps.
And that's what was talked about, even if you have the signs that would go a long way, but yeah, the enforcement. You have to mark the tire, you have to go back, it's like somebody would, a police officer would be there all day. Trying to regulate the parking. So,
Yeah, I just start with education and try to get the employees.
I mean, yeah, Provo City does it without police officers.
It's very big Christoffel in Provo City. But I think you just go pitch it to the businesses and say, hey, this benefits you.
I agree.
Your employees out there so customers can come in.
No, and this is good feedback because, we were gonna have something on the agenda next week. I can reach out to the council and say, let's do some research and let's maybe have a meeting with the downtown people and I think either way it could work, but as far as administration, parking would be tough to enforce. I mean, you'd have to dedicate somebody there, all the
They have to
time.
go there, but every 45 minutes or every.
Well,
half hour or something.
voluntarily, just having the signs, I think would help.
Yeah.
Well, and it allows you then to enforce it. So if you have a problem, if somebody sees a car there and it's been there for 5 hours, they can call and say, we put a note on the windshield and then maybe a ticket eventually or whatever.
Right.
It just gives you the opportunity to enforce it if you've got signage, so.
We definitely want to make it so that it works for everybody down there. So it's not enforcement, it's not a fine thing that we want to get a revenue. It's just really, and we,
Right.
even before the main street was open, we had a couple of visits say we want 2-hour parking. I didn't feel like it was the time to do that at the point. Now everything's open. The parking lots in the back are done. I didn't know if it would be a problem, but we still have some people pushing for that.
would you?
Yeah,
I'll get
when,
with you.
when are you planning on going around for the Christmas?
I was hoping.
Next week?
Next week. Or,
Are you and Diane coordinating that,
mm,
going around, I think?
Yeah, I think another thing that might be helpful, for just longer term enforcement or watching what's happening downtown. When we have drones, and could we just get some drone footage over the next year, or it just during different events or different seasons or,
Problem it is.
yeah. I mean, you might have to address something now because it sounds like it's on the forefront of people's minds, but I think if we continue to collect that data, then we know, well, also it's good data to know how much back parking lots are being used, because at some point, there's gonna be a need for additional parking downtown. And I think if we start collecting that data, that's gonna help us make other decisions in the future as well. So I don't know, maybe Jonathan can do that every so often.
Solicit this.
Yeah, I'll work
And
with,
what you've been.
yeah, I can work with you and Diane on that. I know we've got a meeting, I think on Thursday.
The other thing that staff has done, Jill's been part of it, was, we have no problem and we encourage, the apartments up on the top, but they need to be done legally. Like, there's fire code things that if you're gonna have a residence up there, you need to have certain things, and there's several apartments up there that are not approved. And so we've kind of done an inventory, not that we want to kick them out, but really, like one business was like,
Help them get in line.
here's what you have to do to have an apartment. They didn't do any of it and just created an apartment. And so now it's, we either need to say, if you're gonna have an apartment up there, it's gotta meet all the fire codes and the building codes. And if they're there, great, we don't have a problem, but when you have so many that are not approved and they're parking there, that's gonna be an enforcement thing that we're gonna have to say, you gotta either bring it up to code or you can't have an apartment. And I know you'll probably hear about that when that gets going, but that's in the works too.
Yeah.
We met a few times on that.
And I'll bring this up, maybe Brian's expressed it to you guys, but, through the Main Street program through the state, there are some grants available, for creating apartments above or, to revitalize interiors. It is a federal grant, but there aren't as many of the loopholes and string hoops you have to jump through, like the others.
Still a few.
Census through the Main Street program. So if the city hears of people saying, oh, my interior, or I wanna get my apartment up to code, we can discuss some opportunities through the main street for that.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. Sorry, I thought Brian shared that, but yeah.
That's great. Thanks, Rick. Thanks, everybody. Anything else on committees or anything? The retreat. I know that Brian has brought this up a couple times of wanting to get input from this group if we think that a retreat is a good idea and what we should do for that, like maybe some topics of discussion. So maybe first of all, would you all be interested in attending a retreat for economic development? Generally all day type thing, lunch, and have different topics or speakers throughout the day, maybe some breakout groups. That's something that you would be able to commit some time to.
If they're organized and a purpose, yeah, if there's a purpose, yeah, if it's just to go sit and have a meeting, no.
Right, so
Come on, you don't want that.
We're gonna do that, let's do it on a.
Although any meeting with lunch is not a bad meeting. It just has to be better.
better be a good lunch.
Yeah.
Is it something you could do at the Queen Tech building?
Well, yeah, I think that we could schedule something so it would be local, we wouldn't have to travel.
Just don't do it in the holiday.
I think like February when it's cold and gloomy anyway, so.
Like the last retreat we had was pretty I mean, there was a lot of information that was shared. I thought it was.
Okay. What are some topics of discussion that would interest you to comment?
I'd like to see us, focus on the committees a little bit more. Number one, what committees do we want to have or feel like we need to have? And then number two, maybe we spend some breakout sessions brainstorming with those committee chairs, what their agenda could be and what their goals could be, and just try to maybe kickstart, a little stronger committee participation. Because I think if you look at the education committee and how strong it's running, it's a good example of, I think, what could happen. If you have a vision and everybody catches sight of the vision, and then, they get engaged and get excited about the agenda they're pursuing. So if we could replicate that in every committee we feel like we need to have, that would be helpful. And maybe a retreat would be a chance to spend a couple of hours, trying to do that, trying to kickstart those committees. And anyway, that's one thought.
I think that's a really great thought.
And that's what I was gonna say, I think the committees each take it to our block, because like the education committee came and visited me and everything else, it's really good. But now, how can they use all the resources we have here and say, hey, I can help you with that, or whatever, and that. And I think let's give them each to our block, if they wanna bring in a speaker from UVU or from us, a business, okay. Bring somebody in, what do we do well, what does the city do well, what don't they do well, and just get some feedback, and then I think each committee has a block and can run with that. And maybe the golf doesn't need 2 hours, maybe they only.
I don't think we need 2 hours.
Well, maybe, you can write it down, but yeah, education needs a little while and whatever, maybe only an hour each, and then.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I really like that.
Well, and I think if you have a breakout of just what's going on in the city, what the city's doing, like whether it's infrastructure, whether it's front runner, I mean, any of the updates like that is very helpful too. So I think anything if the city has a breakout and say, this is what we know is coming here, this is what we've been doing to accommodate them.
Well, and I think we still need clarity on what the city's role in economic development is. What do we do? How does the city support that versus stepping on somebody else's toes? You bring a competitor in, or you pissing them off, or what can they do? I mean, the hospital hospital, what can the city do to help them, how to attract doctors and stuff, to raise it, for us as a business, what can they do?
I think that would be a really great discussion, just to understand, you know, is there a line?
Yeah,
And,
because you have Chamber of Commerce, you have city, you have other. What role, how do we all fit in there? What role do we each play?
Well, and I think that's a really good point, because like in our committee, we've talked about duplicative efforts all the time, right? Like, and are we accomplishing anything, or are we just doing the same thing in two different meetings or two different locations? I think that's a really great point.
I think too, I'm not sure how you get about it, but, have a session where somebody's sort of presenting on the types of federal and state grants that are available to support us, you know, just an inventory of what's out there, somebody that's an expert that can present that, so everybody can hear what's there, and then try to maybe connect opportunity for, you know, to pursue grants with whatever committee agendas there are. What's cool.
Well, and that's a really, I think that'd be awesome. Is there a portion of this retreat that we would open it up to the larger, like a discussion like that? I think we could open that up to a larger group rather than just this
You can either
committee.
tie in like an SBA, someone from SBA to come in and say, these are some programs we have, whether it's a bank or something. I think any information that we may have, especially for the retention, that we go back to the businesses going, oh, I just heard about this program. Are you, and you know, it might be able to help you. I think it'd be beneficial big time.
No, that's really
Yeah.
good.
I think for the retreat, we learn, and then the subcommittees, you have a different meeting to spread that information.
Chris is SBA Small Business Association
Yes.
Administration,
Administration.
that's all business. Administration.
Government.
What was that?
Yeah, but the industry grants and the education grants and all those things, what's available to us, to a business that they could use.
I think that's great.
Sorry, and what does the inland port mean for an existing business? We know what for development is good, but if the existing business, does it help? We do an infrastructure, I don't know, and that's what we need, power supply or whatever, right? We need to understand that.
This is great. It's one of the best meetings we've had in a long time.
Don't tell Brian.
So
He's in Africa hunting, so. Let's talk about timing. I mean, I threw out February, but what is a good realistic time to do this?
They consider the planning, what's needed to plan it.
Yeah, I get.
It's, you know, if it's gonna
Get it
take
organized.
3 months to get it organized and
Yeah.
planned, then.
It has to be after the holidays.
Yeah, it can't be.
It has to be after the
January
holidays.
can't be great. February's probably great because, I mean, you start in the spring, you have, I think outdoors, golf, whatever, sports, kids, so. February's probably a great time to plan.
What day are you looking at? What?
That was my next question of,
We've done it on a Saturday when we have done it.
I
But.
think we did it a Thursday night or so.
The past. What day, I mean, and maybe have we only had one retreat in the past, 2 retreats,
I
or,
think we've had two.
and have they been on a weeknight, have they been on a weekend?
Saturday was one, Saturday.
We've done both.
Okay,
I think.
how do you feel about, did you like the Saturday versus the weekday or vice versa?
I think a weekday was better, and even if you did like an afternoon and early evening.
Yeah.
Cause then you're not ruining the whole day.
Start at like 2 or something. and
So if we
go
went
till-
like 2 to 7 or.
Yeah, 2 to 7.
Or even lunch, bring in lunch or whichever one.
Maybe start with lunch
Yeah.
and then.
And then
So
go
you're
till,
leave.
go to 6 o'clock, yeah.
Give you your night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you started off with a Red Bull. You know, you started-
And maybe one
Or
to
the coffee
6,
shop.
maybe 1 to 6,
Yeah.
start with a lunch.
Yeah, somebody, the working month, come in at noon and eat lunch and then have some present.
So if you're looking at February, you'll have to avoid the second weekend if you're looking at a weekend, because that's Valentine's and then President's Day.
I would avoid a weekend. I just think it's easier.
I agree.
Okay,
So if we did it on a if we did it on a weekday,
Like it,
is that
Thursday or
something that we
It'll
could
be a Thursday.
realistically?
you'll have to avoid Wednesdays because of council, planning commission.
yeah, I'd say a Thursday would be a good day to do it on. Great.
Last Thursday in February, that's my.
Last Thursday is the 26th. February.
The national holiday.
What are you doing, Ted?
It's my birthday.
Get on.
My sister and I.
You'll get home in time for your party.
So do you want to avoid that day?
No, that's
Just checking.
He's not celebrating that.
Your wife will surprise you with a party or something?
No, it's not. We can plan around it, it's fine.
So if we
Maybe-
tentatively shoot for that day,
Yeah, the 26th. Okay.
we'll get Lynn a special hat.
I'll probably be out.
And a cupcake.
My term ends when? Never.
Here, let's see. Here, Lynn ends February 2026.
Go out with a bang.
That could be your last thing.
Just says February, it doesn't say which day.
I think mine ends at the same time, doesn't it?
Chris is, no, yours is February 2028.
28.
Yeah.
You just renewed.
Got
You don't
extended.
remember?
While we're checking, what's mine?
And is February 2027. Anybody else? Jim, February 2027. Hi, February 2027. Kim, she just won't be here.
December 18th.
Thanks for slipping that in there once again.
Any
We
problem
bring it up
announcing
often.
Well, I think end of February gives us some time to plan and coordinate
Mhm.
and start pulling some of these thoughts and ideas together. Conferences that I attend are most effective when we have lots of participation. So be thinking about how your committee could participate in this. And I think education committee is a great example of come and share the secret sauce, right, of how this works. Downtown, what's going on there, what support do you need, those types of things. But I really get a lot more out of conferences where there's lots of participation, lots of presentation, and experience. I think that would be something we should shoot for. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Anything else? Any other highlights that we should think about for retreat?
Any news from the city of Woodbury?
Report on things happening.
So I was
They
gonna
told me at the
do,
golf tournament, they're really close.
yeah. So I was gonna do a report on things happening in Payson, maybe from committee members, and then we'll have our city stuff. Anything going on? The theaters have sold, if you haven't been aware of that.
Yes, and if there's any, so what we're starting to find is that they're starting to hit their pain points where there's a lot of feedback, negative feedback.
Yeah, I read a lot of that.
That's what's going on. So I mean, if you have any feedback, I'm meeting with them this afternoon to try to get the correct messaging out. If you've heard of anything or have any insight as far as what.
Is there correct messaging? Is it Angel Studios and No R movie?
No, there's rated R play down there from Angel Studio, from their whole production team. So no, yes, Angel Studios will have a role there. They're actually gonna do a lot of work there, but it's not gonna be just straight Angel movies and stuff. But yes, they will play rated R shows. Just because Steve, the owner, production company, like Code 3, I think it's Code 3 or Code, is rated R. And is playing there now, but that's Steve's thing. It's not a national distribution. But anyways, they're running into some negative messaging, and if you've heard of anything, let me know. I'll be more, I mean, because they're trying to now do a big push to get the right messaging out there.
So what's the negative message?
It's like that, it's only Angel Studio.
They're not playing the
No
mainstream.
radar, they're not playing, yeah, no mainstream. I think that's coming from Payson happening. And I brought that to their attention, which caused this meeting this afternoon. So anyway, if you hear of anything, please let me know, and we can try to see if we can get the messaging out there to correct the vision before.
Because you are the community
If
lead.
that's it.
She's rethinking that.
And probably all the negatives from anonymous posters.
They really are.
Yes, they don't wanna put their name to it because they wanna stir up trouble.
Yeah, well, what was funny is they were coming out when we announced that this was happening. And it's like, how do you know that? Where do you get your information?
Right.
And I was trying to correct it, that is not true, but now they're trying to get globally, the message is this, so,
That's great.
anyway. Please let me know.
Awesome, thank you. Anything else from business perspective going on in Payson, chamber perspective?
We're pretty excited about our workshop on the 23rd. And that's some of our grant money is being used toward that. We've got a fun roundtable of 5 business leaders in the area that are just gonna let them pick their brains and funding to, how to get your business, to grow and increase the scale. So that should be really good. And hopefully you'll get a postcard in the mailbox if you're in the area this week. That's kind of our big push right now.
Not really, nothing to announce.
Report from the city. I'm sure many of you heard at the golf event that we were all hoping Woodbury would make some announcements.
I knew that wouldn't happen. Even Fred was there and he's going,
Yeah. So that's probably one of the big reports from the city is we don't know what's going on. We know that there will be an announcement someday, and when that happens, you'll all know. So.
Oh, and I just remembered.
It will be briefly after we know.
Speaking of near Woodbury, 7 Brew is gonna have a ribbon cutting on Friday. A week from this Friday, was that date?
The
17th?
16th.
17th.
Oh, 17th.
So 10:45 a.m. They'll do ribbon cutting, then they're opening up on Monday at 5:30. So they're open for business Monday, ribbon cutting Friday, and then an all-day free t-shirt with every large drink on Saturday with a DJ playing music only. And they do, even though they're called 7 Brew Coffee, they have 20,000 different drink options, including shakes and sodas and fizz and.
And they did a good job coming around business. They came over to us, bought some and stuff.
Yeah, they did say.
So it was good. I mean, get there.
Oh, that's
Yeah, he's totally engaged and wants to get involved. He's part of the Petite Neat Santa Run. They'll have serving drinks at the Santa Run. We're trying to get them to the Christmas festival. So they want to get involved. So if you got any openings for them to get involved, let us know.
Other things going on from the city, Jill, anything?
Not really. I mean, I'm sure there's something. You have
What-
a new plan?
Right next to
I mean, it's-
Cafe Rio, is that, McDonald? What is?
Woodbury has reached out to me a couple of times to set up an appointment, and then they says, we'll get back to you, then they never do. Do you want me to let you know that you're laughing?
Sounds familiar.
Like a pattern.
Yeah, we'll get right on that a month later.
Yeah, well, that's.
Oh, yeah, we needed to get on that.
Since June. So anyways, I don't know if you want me to let you guys know if they do actually get a hold of me and set up an appointment.
I would say, just let us know what happens at the appointment.
Okay.
If they want us involved, great, if
Yeah.
not, if it-
Chris, did you have a conversation with Woodbury at the golf event? Did you talk with Jake or?
So Joe was supposed to come and he didn't come, and he's the one that has been calling me going, Jeff wants
Okay.
to meet with you. Jeff wants to meet with you,
Jacob,
but no.
I didn't see Jacob. but-
I talked to
I talked
Jake.
to Jake.
And he had asked me specifically, he says, did the theater sell? And I said, yes, it did. So I don't know if it would be helpful if you reach out or if we reach out and we just say, if we mention that Chris is still involved. I think it'd be really helpful, because maybe that's the hot and cold also. It's just, oh, well, she sold it. So we don't need to talk to her anymore. And maybe we just need to let them know that, but Chris is still involved.
So Joe called me and asked
Okay.
me.
Yeah,
and
Oh, okay,
yes,
perfect.
they know.
Okay, okay,
It was
perfect.
sold, but there's still those two little pieces of land that they need to go through me to deal
Okay.
with. So anyways,
Okay.
you still need to talk to me. You can't get away from it.
Okay.
Yeah, they have Wayfarer's numbers and they have yours.
Okay,
And
perfect.
I don't know why it takes so long for them to set up the meeting, but
Okay. But yeah, they're aware.
The other things from the city, that's probably good for this group. Sewer plant is moving forward, like doing very well. Same thing for power distribution, we're doing a lot of work to meet our needs for that, make sure that we have a good grid in the city and good redundancy and all of those types of things. We're stressing Sean Blackout to the max. He's lots of fun. He's our power director and it's really good at stress. As far as the city's going, we're just getting ready for Christmas season and
You're paving our path in the Maples. We're excited about that.
very good. And people are still building, they're still pulling permits all the time, so it's good. Anything else that we need to talk about?
Are we on other?
We are not.
Yes.
I wanted to mention, let's see. Ben Ford emailed me and just mentioned that he can never do second Wednesdays. So I just wanted to just put that out so everybody knew. I don't know that we need or want to change this date, or if maybe somebody else needs to be on the board. I just wanted to throw all that out, just so
Yeah,
everybody knew.
I had a conversation with Brian about that as well, and I think it would be good for the school district to be here.
Yeah,
If Ben can't, then I think it would be a good conversation to say who can make it at this time, right? Because we've been through the whole, is this the right time? Is this the, and we settled here, and so I think there are a lot of us that maybe,
Ben had a hard time even when it was on another day.
yeah.
So it might be Ben, maybe get his assistant or somebody that could come. Because I think it's always gonna be hard for Ben to come.
so if he wants someone else to, we would have to appoint that person.
Correct.
We could do that. Might be good for him to give us some suggestions.
Suggestions if somebody can.
Your point, Kurt? He's not.
There's not the school district.
He's not,
On the school.
unless you want to run for school board too.
No, one campaign is plenty.
Yeah, that's a good point, Bill.
Yeah.
Any other items?
Well, thanks everybody for being here.
Awesome, let's adjourn.